Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into an event that, fundamentally reshapes the 20th century. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo.
It's an event with such huge consequences.
Exactly. And our mission for you today is really to cut through the noise. We want to extract the most surprising, the most crucial insights from our sources.
So you understand not just what happened, but the seismic why behind it all, why it mattered so much.
Right. So to really grasp the impact of his death, we first need to understand Franz Ferdinand himself. He's often painted as this rigid, cold figure, almost a caricature.
Yeah, that's the common picture. But the sources, they show a man of really fascinating contradiction.
Talk about that dual nature, conservative autocrat, yet pushing for radical reform.
It's quite something. He was absolutely a staunch conservative, believed in the monarchy to his core. But his plans, they involved, pretty radical stuff aimed at saving that monarchy by re-centralizing power.
How so?
Well, take Hungary. He openly despised the powerful Hungarian elite. His plan: introduce universal male suffrage there.
Which sounds progressive, but
the goal was cynical. It was meant to empower non-Magyar minorities, basically dilute the Hungarian elite's power, paralyze their parliament, all to pave the way for his vision of an authoritarian Greater Austria.
And this is where it gets really interesting, folks. His most famous idea, trialism, transforming Austria-Hungary
into Austria-Hungary Slav, creating a third semi-autonomous South Slav entity inside the empire.
Which, given his reputation, sounds so counterintuitive. Why was that such a direct threat to Serbian nationalism?
That's the ultimate irony of June 28th, isn't it? Trialism was a direct attack on the whole Greater Serbia dream.
Yeah.
By offering status, some autonomy to Slavs within the empire, he aimed to kill the appeal of an independent Yugoslav state led by Serbia.
So the nationals who killed him saw him as the oppressor.
But his reforms were actually the far bigger existential threat to their specific nationalist project than the sort of stagnant empire that already existed.
And the paradox is he was against war with Serbia and Russia.
Absolutely. He saw it as disastrous. So his death removed a major obstacle to the very war the nationalists, in a way, helped trigger. Deeply ironic.
And to all this high politics, there's this very human story. His wife, Sophie Chotek. The morganatic marriage, that must have been tough.
Oh, constantly. She wasn't royal lineage, so she faced endless slights in Vienna. Couldn't sit with him in the royal box, couldn't ride in his carriage publicly.
But Sarajevo was different.
Yes, because it wasn't an official state visit. The strict court rules didn't apply. So for once, Sophie could sit beside him as his equal in public.
Wow.
She apparently knew the risks, reportedly told a friend, "I will not leave the Archduke to face it alone." That rare public partnership tragically put her right in the line of fire.
And his plans, of course, were a reaction to the Balkan situation, the powder keg of Europe.
Exactly. The Ottoman Empire declining, creating this power vacuum filled by aggressive nationalisms, especially Greater Serbia.
And the flashpoint that really set Vienna and Belgrade on a collision course.
That was 1908, Austria-Hungary annexing Bosnia and Herzegovina, a catastrophic blow for Serbian ambitions.
And it radicalized a whole generation of young Bosnian Serbs.
Profoundly. Which brings us to the secret societies. This anger wasn't just, abstract.
Okay, let's unpack this. The Black Hand. This sounds serious.
It was. Think of it almost like a deep state element within Serbian military intelligence, led by Colonel Dragutin Dmitrijević, APIS. He was the chief.
And the Serbian government, did they know?
The prime minister knew something about the plot, but his attempt to warn the Austrians was incredibly feeble, vague, almost useless.
And that connection, however tenuous, basically doomed Serbia in Vienna's eyes after the assassination.
Absolutely. It gave Vienna the justification they felt they needed.
So the plot itself, a mix of these young, idealistic students from young Bosnia, like Gavrilo Princip.
Just 19 years old, driven by this fervent Yugoslav nationalism. He said, "I am a Yugoslav nationalist, aiming for the unification of all Yugoslavs, free from Austria."
And the professional help of the Black Hand supplying weapons.
Bombs and pistols, yes. But the actual execution in Sarajevo security was, shockingly lax.
Didn't the first attempt fail?
It did. A bomb thrown by another conspirator actually bounced off the Archduke's car roof and exploded behind them. Injured some officers.
And Franz Ferdinand.
Furious. But he insisted on going to the hospital to visit the wounded from that first attack. A fatal decision, as it turned out.
And this is where fate, or just sheer chance, plays this incredible role. Around 11 a.m.
The driver makes a wrong turn. trying to correct it, the car stalls.
Right in front of Moritz Schiller's delicatessen.
And standing right there, probably thinking the whole plot had failed, maybe grabbing a sandwich.
Is Gavrilo Princip.
One of history's most terrifying coincidences, he steps forward, fires 2 shots, point-blank range.
Hits Franz Ferdinand in the neck, Sophie in the abdomen.
His last words apparently were pleading with her. Sophie, don't die. Live for our children.
Both died within minutes. Just devastating.
And the immediate aftermath for the assassins. Princip died later in prison from TB. Apis is a mastermind, executed by his own Serbian government during the war. Irony upon irony.
But those 2 shots set off a chain reaction far beyond Sarajevo.
Instantly. The assassination gave Vienna's war party the perfect pretext they'd been looking for to crush Serbia.
But they needed Germany's backing.
Right.
Against Russia potentially intervening.
Crucially. And they got it. Kaiser Wilhelm II gave Austria-Hungary that unconditional promise of support, the infamous blank check.
Which essentially removed all restraint from Vienna. No more caution needed.
Exactly. It was a massive green light. So Vienna drafts this ultimatum to Serbia.
Deliberately harsh. Designed to be rejected.
Totally. Demanding Austrian officials participate in investigations on Serbian soil. A clear violation of sovereignty. No independent nation could accept that.
But what stands out to you about Serbia's response? Because it wasn't an outright rejection, was it?
No, it was surprisingly accommodating. They agreed to almost everything. So much so that even the German Kaiser declared it removed every reason for war.
But it didn't matter by then.
Too late. Vienna wasn't interested in negotiation or peace. They wanted war. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia.
And that declaration triggered the whole house of cards. Europe's rigid alliance system.
The dominoes fell, just like that. Russia mobilizes to support Serbia. Germany declares war on Russia. Then France invades Belgium.
Pulling Britain into the war, a regional conflict explodes.
Into a continental inferno within a week.
So let's try and synthesize this. What does it all mean? Was the Great War inevitable?
That's the million-dollar question historians still debate. Some say leaders sort of stumbled into it, miscalculating horribly.
Others argue Germany in particular deliberately used the crisis, saw it as a chance for world power.
The truth is likely messy, somewhere in between. You had reckless decisions by individuals, structural pressures from alliances and nationalism, but Germany's blank check, that was absolutely critical in turning a crisis into a catastrophe. It enabled Vienna's aggression.
And Princip's legacy today, still contested.
Oh, hugely. For many Serbs, he remains a hero, a fighter against oppression. But after the Balkan Wars of the 1990s, for many Bosniaks and Croats, he's seen as a Serbian nationalist terrorist.
His image really reflects the region's unresolved tensions, even now.
Absolutely. And the whole story of Sarajevo, it's just one of terrifying disproportionality, isn't it? These tiny contingent moments, a driver's wrong turn, a stalled engine, an assassin happening to be in the right place at the wrong time, maybe getting a sandwich.
Colliding with these immense impersonal forces, empire, nationalism, military plans.
Exactly. It's a chilling reminder of how small events can spark enormous consequences.
So those 2 shots,
Yeah.
fired by a 19-year-old idealist, it's hard to wrap your head around.
They didn't just kill an archduke and his wife.
They provided the spark, ignited that powder keg we talked about, unleashed this torrent of violence that consumed a generation.
And the echoes, the shadows of that explosion, you could argue we still feel them today in many ways.
A truly profound moment. Thank you for helping us unpack that.